Boy, oh boy, what a game that was. The Maple Leafs, right after that own goal, that really set the tone for the rest of the night. We're going to be talking about this matchup we just saw. Welcome back to the Maple Leafs Media post-game show. I'm your guy, Jake, and today we have a new guest on the show. Want to welcome to the show Matt, at Matt McNay on Instagram. It was a tough loss, but how you doing today?
Well, I'm doing great. Could be doing a little bit better though. Yeah, it was a tough loss, but I want to thank you for having me on the show, and thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. And you know what? What a loss that was. That was hard to watch. I wanted to rip my eyeballs out a couple times. That game, oh, that was the embodiment of everything I hate to see in a hockey game. There were some bad calls, some own goals. Ugh, the Maple Leafs, they didn't look like themselves tonight. They looked like a shell of the team they've been through the first four games prior to this. We're going to be talking some highlights. We got some highlights, we got some clips, and we want to talk about some calls that were made. Let's start off with the 3 stars of this game. No surprise here, the 3 stars of the game. 3 players you'd expect: Leon Draisaitl, Austin Matthews, Connor McDavid, but they didn't score in the way you'd expect them to score. And let's just show the first goal of the game, because this really set the tone for it all.
It behind the net, Cahoon tried to duck out in front. Cut off with the pass by Kerfoot. Centering play, they score! Puck going off a skate.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
That's a tough way to start. You saw it. You all saw that. Goes in off Jake Muzzin's foot. I have Jake Muzzin on my fantasy team, and that's not the goal I wanted him to score tonight. Damn. Just damn. And when I saw that happen, I knew it was going to be a weird night. It was a weird night all around. You saw a bunch of weird things happening. You saw a Jason Spezza slap shot going the shin pad of Slater Cuckoo. We saw just a lot of random stuff. Goal from the goal line by Austin Matthews. It was a weird night. What do you think?
Yeah, it was definitely a weird night, especially that Matthews. Well, especially that first goal that we just saw, but that Matthews goal that he scored looked like a kind of a squeaker that went in. For that first goal against the Leafs, who do you place that blame on? Is it Muzzin, or was it? Kind of feel like I think it was VC who. I don't know. It was a questionable play.
That's just a tough bounce. I don't really place the blame on anyone there. It seemed like everyone was kind of they're all compact in front of the net, and that's just a tough bounce. I can't really find a person to blame on that. That's just a tough bounce, and you cannot blame Frederik Andersen for that. Tough bounce, tough way to start the game, and it set the tone going forward. There's another weird goal that tied the game, and it was Austin Matthews, was the second of the year. Let's check it out.
Nurse is centering play. Matthews tied up there. Cassian defensively. Matthews takes it away. It scores!
Mikko Koskinen. He was just frozen there. He had no idea that went behind him. That's just a tough bounce for him as well. This game was full of tough bounces for both teams, but the Maple Leafs, they got the worst of them.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Koskinen looked better than usual. Only letting in 2 goals is pretty good for him.
Well, you know what? I wouldn't go that far. I don't really think he looked better. I just think that the Maple Leafs didn't have enough shots on goal. They
better on
really
the stat sheet.
They had 24 shots on goal out there tonight, and there's so many missed opportunities that this team had tonight. The Maple Leafs, they looked like they were trying to do too much pretty stuff offensively, trying to pass the puck. I was yelling at my TV screen all night long. It was devastating to watch. It was ugly all around. That might have been the worst performance I've seen from this team so far this season. I think it was. Joseph Clark says, Leafs Nation, let's stick together with this team. It's an early, tough loss, but it's tough. It's tough. Let's keep moving on. Let's move forward. We're going to continue recapping this post game, but this team really needed to make the most of their opportunities because that's just something you need to do. And when you're playing a goalie like Mikko Koskinen, I don't believe in Mikko Koskinen at all. And the key to this game, it was simple. You have to take advantage of their weak goaltending in Edmonton, and you have to feast on their bottom six. Their bottom six came into this game with a negative 16 through their first 4 games and 1 goal. And our team just could not capitalize on that.
Yeah, it seemed Leon Draisaitl was able to snap his 13-game goalless streak for consecutive regular season games. I don't know if you caught that.
Yeah, it was, and this is his goal right here.
A year ago, Nugent Hopkins return pass off the leg, scores. Leon Draisaitl's got a power.
And when that goal went in, I don't like to be this guy because I'm always preaching. Just keep calm. Belief. Tonight, I couldn't do that. I really couldn't do that. Tonight, when that goal went in, I knew we weren't coming back. It was a weird night. It was a weird night all around. Tough penalty calls, tough bounces. And I kind of just knew that we weren't going to score another goal. And Jason Spezza almost did at the end of the game. Tough bounces all around.
Yeah, that Spezza play was a tough one to watch for sure.
Absolutely. Joseph Clark in the comments section. Thank you, Joseph. If you haven't already, make sure you smash the like button. Hit the notification bell. We are here on the post-game show. Maple Leafs, Edmonton Oilers post-game show. We're pissed off. We're pissed off about this loss here. Leafs looked awful tonight. Your name is Limitless says Leafs looked awful tonight, and you know what? I agree with this statement. The Leafs looked like a shell of themselves tonight. What do you think? What do you think of that? Do you think the Leafs looked awful tonight?
Well, I think they just had a lack of chances. They were passing too much. Didn't look like they got enough shots on net, and ultimately it cost them tonight.
Yeah, that's great analysis. I agree. We should have been taking more shots because when you're playing against a goalie like Mikko Koskinen, the Edmonton Oilers, they're allowing a lot of goals in their first 4 games. We had a chance to capitalize on that. We were trying to do too much pretty stuff. Even in the neutral zone, we were trying to make too many dangles, it did not work. Nothing came to fruition for the Maple Leafs tonight. Rye says, I was so mad, and I was so mad as well. Screaming at the TV all night long. My dog was looking at me like I'm crazy. Too bad Robertson is out. Yeah, I mean, could have used him out there tonight. And we had another injury that we have to talk about because there's a question here. Why is Marner and Matthews playing 24-plus minutes while JT and Willie are playing 17 minutes? I'm confused. Well, the reason that the top-tier guys are getting so much ice time is because, like, the top-tier guys for the Edmonton Oilers getting the same amount of ice time, and Nick Robertson being out, Joe Thornton being out, we're short offensively right now. Let's take a look at Jumbo Joe's injury because this is scary.
Look, coming around, did he get hit or almost like he jammed his wrist as he got hit, or he's turning it.
So you heard Craig Simpson there on the call. He says, looks like he jammed his wrist, and that's not an injury you want to have as a hockey player. I'll tell you firsthand, I have broken my wrist, and it required surgery. You can't really play hockey with this. I played football with it because I had a club on my hand. I didn't need to I didn't need to put weight on my left wrist. If you're shooting a stick, you're going to need to put weight on that wrist. Joe Thornton, we got to hope for the best, but Sheldon Keefe after the game, he said it looks like he's going to miss some time. We just got to hope for the best. That's a big loss to this team. What do you think?
Yeah, that was definitely a tough one to see, especially because the Leafs were already short in forwards. They only had about 11 going into the game. So that one hurt to watch Thornton go down.
Absolutely. And we see some comments coming in about Joe Thornton. There's some negative comments coming in. You got to you gotta support Joe Thornton. I mean, it's tough to see him get injured. It's tough to see anyone get injured. You hate to see that happen, but it's unfortunate, and let's just hope for the best for Joe Thornton. We gotta hope for the best. Stay positive. We've got a lot of comments coming in here. No lead. How did we blow it? We didn't blow this one. We honestly, we just did not come out to play tonight. The Maple Leafs really did not come out to play tonight. They looked like a shell of the team that they have been through the first 3 games of the season, for the first 4 games of the season. And before this show even started, I saw a lot of comments coming in about Frederik Andersen. Now, Matt, I want to ask you, what did you think of Frederik Andersen's performance tonight?
Well, you can't really complain. He only let in 2 goals. It wasn't a bad performance. Probably one of his better games of the season, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, through the first 2 games, he allowed 9 goals, and that was tough to see those first 2 games. A lot of Maple Leafs fans, we were getting on him, and you can't really place the blame on him for this. That was we had a tough bounce on that first goal, and then Leon Draisaitl, that second goal on the power play. There's really not much you can do about it. I don't think Freddie Andersen can have a lot of the blame put on him for this. We got a lot of comments coming in. Freddie was good. Andersen was good. He was. I think Frederik Andersen, he might have been one of the few bright spots on this team here tonight, because there really wasn't much positives. There's a few other ones, and we'll talk about them. How about Justin Holl? Justin Holl, again, making a statement out there. 2 hits, 4 block shots from Justin Holl. He looks damn good out there, and he's really impressed me this season. I think a lot of people have slept on Justin Holl, and he's made a statement to start this season.
Yeah, I think he had a few good plays shutting down McDavid as well, which is a tough task. So
yeah, absolutely. There's that. Well, McDavid would have had a breakaway if it wasn't for Justin Holl, and then Justin Holl. There's a play that stood out to me in the second period. He cut off Connor McDavid in the corner, and he took the puck away from Connor McDavid. That is tough to do. Obviously, best player, or one of the best players in the NHL. Justin Holl, he's looked damn good out there. He leads his team in hits and block shots. Came into the game tied for most points in the NHL by a defenseman. I know it's really early, so let's not overhype that stat yet. But Justin Holl, he's had quite the early campaign so far. Got a lot of comments rolling in here. You think Holl is fantasy material? Interesting you say that. So I'm considering this myself in my league. I know I got some viewers here that are in my league, so I don't want to spill the beans too much, but you know what? I will for you, Angelo. Holl, if you're in like a banger league that uses hits and block shots, I'd definitely consider picking up Justin Holl. He's leading the Maple Leafs in hits and block shots. It speaks for itself. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, like you were saying, I don't think he's going to do too much for you point-wise compared to other guys in the league, but if you get points for the hits and the blocks, then yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. We've got a bunch more comments coming in. Holl was great. Can't win with 1 goal. Absolutely. I mean, you can, but not tonight. Not tonight. Just too many tough bounces. Except Holl. Holl was good. I mean, Justin Holl, he was one of the few bright spots. Him and Frederik Andersen. We've got a couple more highlights. Let's play a bit of a fun game here. Let's say penalty or not. Penalty or no penalty. I want your take on this first, Maddie. What do you think? So it's going to replay.
I'm going the obvious no penalty on that one.
Oh, interesting.
I don't think Marner really did much to hold them up, and it was a penalty either way.
Well, that's really interesting. You know why? That was called a holding call. And that was just one of 2 interesting calls tonight. What on earth is that a penalty for? Holding? It looked more like a push to me, like he was giving him a boost to skate forward. That was a horrendous call, in my opinion. I want to see what everyone in the comments section thinks. Is this a penalty or not? Is this a penalty? Because if it is, I don't know. I might just be going crazy. That is not a penalty in my books. We've got the comments rolling in here. Peter says it was a hold. Derek says, yes, grabbing. Interfered with him. Okay. Jack says no way, so he's with me. So I don't think that was a penalty. I really don't think that was a penalty. I mean, you can call it a penalty. I could see why you call it a penalty. By rule, technically, it can be a penalty. But I don't. You gotta let that go. You gotta let the game play out.
I think the way Nurse reacted, it kind of looked like a penalty, but if you look closer at it, didn't really look like he got too much on him.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And comment here, if Spezza scored that goal the last couple minutes in the third, it could have went to overtime. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. I wish it did, but that was the type of night it was tonight. Just tough bounces, nothing going in the favor of the Maple Leafs. There's some questionable calls, some missed opportunities, shots that should have been taken that weren't taken. That pretty much recaps the night tonight. I mean, the Maple Leafs, they just did not do what they needed to come away with a win. We've got some comments coming in here. Austin Matthews is great. Well, that's interesting you say that. Austin Matthews is great, and he had the one goal. He had the one goal here tonight. But we'll get back to Austin Matthews in a minute because we have a question here specifically for Matt. Do you think that the Maple Leafs have a solid chance this year, and do you think they made the necessary changes over the offseason?
I think overall the Leafs look good, and I really like their new additions of Thornton, TJ Brody, and Wayne Simmons. I think they made a lot of good moves, and I like them going into the playoffs this year.
I agree. I agree with you a lot, and I think that it's tough. You're going to lose games, and I mean, coming into this game, I had a comment yesterday. Do you think the Leafs can go 55-1? My answer was simply no, I do not. And I proved to be right. Unfortunately, we're not going to go 55-1. I believe we made the necessary changes. I think that we could still use another top-tier defenseman. I really like the additions we made, but we could still use another top-tier defenseman. And it was tough out there tonight. It was tough. There's not a spark that the Maple Leafs had at all. Maybe a fight could have went. If we had a fight, maybe that could have changed it. But we will be seeing this team again Friday night. So Bud Perks here says 3 more games against this team. So we play this game 4 of the next 6 and now 3 of the next 5. So we need to be tougher against the Edmonton Oilers. We need to try to do a better job of containing Connor McDavid. I thought we did all right, but he's just really fast. He's really fast, and it's impossible to shut him down. What do you think the Maple Leafs need to do differently in the next 3 games against the Oilers?
Generate more chances. Obviously, they need to get more pucks on the net. Maybe a bit less passing, more shooting.
Definitely.
And they need bigger hits from some of their other guys other than Austin Matthews.
Yeah, I think you're spot on because Austin Matthews leading the team in hits tonight. In case you didn't know, he led the team in hits tonight with 6. And we'll talk a bit more about that after. To answer this question that I just kind of made up myself, I really think we need to have less pretty play. We just need to get more shots on goal because as you saw with that Austin Matthews goal, Mikko Koskinen is going to let some slip through. And you just got to keep firing the shots on goal. We've got more comments coming in here. The first goal for both teams was lucky, and Draisaitl's went off his skate and bounced over him. Just a game of bounces. That's spot on comment. Spot on comment, Selman. It was all over the place. All over the place tonight. Tough bounces all over the place. There's a question about Joe Thornton. Thornton is injured. Now what? And I wish I had an answer for you. Joe Thornton being injured, Nick Robertson being injured, this creates opportunities for other Maple Leafs forwards. We could see maybe Travis Boyd or a Adam Brooks. This is going to create opportunities for other players. And we saw some of the players that were competing for a spot in the blue versus white scrimmage before the season even started. So Thornton being out, that hurts. That veteran presence being gone. We still have veteran presence with Wayne Simmons and Jason Spezza, but it's not the same. It's not the same. Missing Joe Thornton on that first line with Mitch Marner, Austin Matthews, I really felt they were getting a good chemistry going out there tonight, and that's going to be tough to recover from.
So are you thinking they're going to go back to Zach Hyman on that line with Matthews and Marner? Or?
I wouldn't be surprised to see it, but there's a point in time. I'd expect that to happen, honestly, yes. I would expect Hyman to go back up to the first line, but there was a point in time, and this was before Thornton was even injured. We saw Sheldon Keefe just load up that first line at one point in the game tonight, and I was kind of getting pissed off by it. We saw John Tavares, Mitch Marner, and Austin Matthews on the line, and they were in the offensive zone for over 2 minutes. They were just generating opportunities. That's what you expect when those three are on a loaded line together. But I don't want to see that going forward. I just want Zach Hyman to be back up there with Mitch Marner and Austin Matthews. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think in today's game is a bit different where he's just trying to generate a spark for the team. But yeah, I agree they need to spread out the lines a bit more.
Definitely. Comment here from Angelo. Question. Personally, I think Wayne Simmons is doing well and great at setting the tone for the Maple Leafs. What do you think? You know what? Wayne Simmons, you might be surprised by this, but tonight he looked really fast out there. He was impressive, and I like how he's always fighting in front of the net, fighting in front of our own net to clear some space. I like what I've seen from Wayne Simmons, and he really has set the tone for this team. You saw it the first game against the Montreal Canadiens, dropping the mitts. Wayne Simmons can be a game changer. He hasn't gotten on the score sheet for any goals or points at all this year, and he's just 1 point away from 500 in his NHL career. I'd expect him to get that point soon. The points will come for Wayne Simmons. He's on the power play. He's getting his opportunities. It's just a matter of time for Wayne Simmons to get on the score sheet, but he's absolutely done a great job of setting the tone. You think so too?
Yeah, I think he's done a good job. It would be nice to see a little bit more from him in terms of scoring, but what can you expect? He's done all right.
Yeah, exactly. He's done pretty well out there. I thought that Wayne Simmons, he's been impressive out there. He's impressed. Question here from Robert: can we afford to play Pierre Engvall? And you know what? That's a name that I didn't even think of. Pierre Engvall. I'd expect him to be one of the two guys called up for sure. I think him and Travis Boyd, Pierre Engvall, Travis Boyd might be coming in and filling in some roster space here. Those two forwards being out and Nick Robertson and Joe Thornton, that really hurts. And I'm no doctor or anything, but if this is a broken wrist for Joe Thornton, because I personally had a broken wrist, that's like a 4 to 6 weeks recovery. And then Nick Robertson's out for 4 weeks. So that's a month. And that's really tough in a shortened 56 game season. That's going to have some big effects on this team going forward. Props to Matthews for playing so gritty out there. Let's talk about Austin Matthews and what he did tonight. Austin Matthews led the team in hits tonight. Do you like this or not like this stat, Matt?
Well, it's nice to see from one of your leaders, but it's kind of hard because you'd like to see some of the other guys getting into it. Guys like Wayne Simmons.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I like to see that Austin Matthews, he wants to get physical out there. He's making the hits, and that's good. But that is not who you want to be leading your team in hits at the end of the game. You want Wayne Simmons, anybody other than Austin Matthews or Mitch Marner or John Tavares, you want them to lead the team in hits. You don't want Austin Matthews leading the team in hits. But I love that he's stepping up and he's making hits, creating separation from bodies and pucks. I like to see it out there. And I think that, this might be something we see a lot against Edmonton specifically because Austin Matthews, Connor McDavid, they're friends off the ice. They're practicing together in Arizona, and I think this is a bit of bragging rights they're fighting for here. But Connor McDavid, he has the bragging rights, even with Austin Matthews leading the team in hits, and he scored the only goal for the Leafs. Connor McDavid came away with the win tonight. So I think that's definitely going to play a factor in this, the next 3 of 5 games.
I think he also had a pair of assists tonight, which is not bad at all.
Yeah, for sure. Angelo says, do you know how many hits the Maple Leafs had today? They had 20. They had 20 hits, which is nice. The Maple Leafs were leading in hits going into the third period, and then the Oilers just started taking the body to us. The Oilers had 25 hits to our 20, and we're always getting outbodied. That's a big problem with this team. We need to make more hits. Donnie says, I have no issue with Matthews using his size. You know what? I like to see him using his body and his size as well, but it's just that's not the guy I want to see leading the team in hits. I want another guy leading the team in hits.
Yeah, well said. I agree.
Thank you, Joe. This is my point. Matthews leading the hits. It's not a diss on Austin. It should be a wake-up call for the rest of the team that your goal guy, your leading goal contributor, Austin Matthews, is leading the team in hits. That's not who should be leading the team in hits. The Leafs need to be more physical. Now, I'm going to let you take this question here from Umair. Thoughts on the Muzzin penalty? Slow-mo shows Yamamoto diving and potentially being tripped by his own teammates. Give me your thoughts.
I think for sure it was a bad penalty, and I think he was tripped up by his own teammate. You could see the frustration in Muzzin's face, and it ended up costing them. So bad penalty for sure.
Yep, it's tough, and that cost us. That cost us a lot, and I think that hold, going back to that hold, I don't think that was a penalty either. There's some tough calls and a lot of bad bounces going on out there tonight. A lot of just weird, sloppy play. Too much trying to be pretty in the neutral zone and offensive zone. Jack Trout, I like what he said. Yep, it was bad. Brush it off. Leafs Nation, brush it off. We're going to see this team 3 more times in the next 5 games. I said earlier that I want to take 3 of these 4 games against Oilers. We still have a chance to do that. Would you be happy if the Maple Leafs win 3 of the next 4 against the Oilers?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think it was a close game tonight. They couldn't really get it done, but due to lack of chances. But I think they'll find their legs and get some more scoring chances in the next couple games.
Yeah. Comment from Rye. Matthews has to shoot way more. And you know what? Not only does Matthews have to shoot more, everybody has to shoot way more on the Maple Leafs tonight in general. The Maple Leafs, they were trying to pass too much and create plays that didn't need to be created because there were opportunities to take so many shots. I can think back to the first power play of the game. We had multiple opportunities to just take shots, and we just let up and made a pass. What do you think? Should have shot more?
Yeah, for sure. I think they were, like we said earlier, overpassing, not shooting enough. Yeah. I like this comment here. I agree that Mikheyev had a good game. He looked pretty good on the PK. He looked like he generated almost 3 scoring chances on the penalty kill, so that's always nice to see.
Yeah, Derek, that's a really great comment. Thank you for that comment. Ilya Mikheyev, I mean, he could get moved up to the first line. That's a candidate as well. He hasn't scored a goal yet, but it's coming. His production's coming. It really is. He's been flying out there against Winnipeg a couple nights ago, and tonight he was flying out there. And on the penalty kill unit, he looked damn good. He generated 2 opportunities back to back. Ilya Mikheyev was one of the most exciting players to watch tonight.
Yeah, I think he was the most exciting player for me to watch. Definitely impressed me tonight.
Yeah, Ilya Mikheyev. Shout out to him. Great performance from him. We got a question though. Pettersson or McDavid? Who you got? I mean, I I don't think this is a competition. Matt, what do you think?
I think it's hands down McDavid. I think Pedersen's a great player, but it's not quite the same level as McDavid.
I agree. Sledge Hockey 101 with a comment. How many shots would you like to see the Maple Leafs get per game? And you know what? I'm setting the bar high for this team. I want over 30 shots a game. I want over 30 shots a game because I think that's the lucky number. You get to 30 shots, that's 10 shots a period. And the Maple Leafs in the last period, they only had 6 shots on goal. Not really much room to create scoring opportunities, so I'd like to get 30 or more shots per game. How about you?
Well, I agree with you. I think they definitely have the star power to get that many shots, and they're just overpassing. It's plain and simple.
Yeah, I think that there's just too many shots that were left out there. Too many shots that we did not take tonight. And Jason Brooks, always in the comment section. He hit the nail on the head right there. I think the Maple Leafs made it too easy on Mikko Koskinen tonight. Koskinen, I said this last night in the pregame show. I don't think he can handle the star power of the Maple Leafs, and I don't think that he's gonna fare well against the Maple Leafs. But the Maple Leafs, they just didn't generate enough opportunities, take enough shots, and challenge them enough. You take a shot from the point, and so many weird bounces can happen. It can be deflected. You can have screens. I didn't see any of that from the Maple Leafs tonight. I just saw pretty little passes that didn't work and went to the stick of the Edmonton Oilers. We have a bunch more comments coming in here. Let's see what we got. I don't trust the shots. They don't show the play. I don't think I've ever gotten that mad at a Leafs game. And you know what? There's a couple times I can think of that were similar. Yeah, Selman says it right here. Game 7, Boston 2013. That tonight, honestly, I was yelling at my TV screen pretty much the same.
Oh, come on.
No. The intensity I had yelling at the TV tonight, I should have done a reaction video for tonight because I was going off on the television. Oh, that was tough. Jason Brooks says it right here. As Don Cherry always said, shoot the puck. You never know what can happen. Shoot the puck and good things happen. Wayne Gretzky said it. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. We need to shoot the puck more. It's plain and simple.
Scott said it too.
Pardon?
I said Michael Scott said it too.
Yeah, we just did not shoot the puck enough. We did not shoot the puck enough. We could have won that game. Shoot the puck. Shoot the puck. We have a question. We have a bit more things to talk about here. Let's go back to the Joe Thornton injury though for a second. I just want to show this for anyone that hasn't seen it already. This is
coming around. Did he get hit or almost like he jammed his wrist as he got hit, or he's turning it.
So you hate to see that. And Joe Thornton, whether you think that he's valuable to this team or not, he is valuable to this team. Joe Thornton is definitely valuable to this team. He's a great asset to have. And I think I can think of 30 other teams I'd like to have him on their team. I mean, he might not be on the first line with every team, but having that veteran presence in that locker room is extremely valuable. And he's definitely going to be missed. We just need to figure out who we're going to replace him with. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see Zach Hyman going up on that first line, but that leaves 2 roster spots open on forward. We're not playing with 8 defense. Please do not put up another defenseman. Mikko Lehtinen, he had some more playing time out there tonight. Even played on the power play. He looked good, but I think that we just need to see either Pierre Engvall, Adam Brooks. It's going to be interesting to see who the Maple Leafs call up. We got a bunch of comments rolling in here. Okay. So let's just dive right into the trade talks. Do you think Freddie is going to get traded by the trade deadline? If so, to who and for who? You know what? I'll take this first. I'll let you think about this for a second. I think that, you know what? No, we're not trading Frederick Anderson. What kind of tone does that set in the locker room? You're telling me you're going to trade away your starting goaltender, Frederick Anderson, right before the deadline going into the playoffs in an all-Canadian North Division. I'm always open to talk trades, but I'm not open to trading my starting goaltender. Frederick Anderson is the starting goaltender on this team, and do not get me wrong. We do not have a goalie controversy here. Jack Campbell, great backup goalie to have, but that's what he is. He's a backup goalie on this team right now. He's never been a starter in the NHL. Frederick Anderson, you take him away from this team, and we're in serious trouble.
I agree. I think it'd be pretty unlikely that Anderson gets traded, especially at the trade deadline. Not enough time for the new goalie to get settled in, and I don't even know who would be available at that point for the Leafs to take a look at.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you're not going to get another trade. You're not going to trade goalie for goalie. That rarely happens. And I mean, it's a contract year for Frederick Anderson. I still think that this is going to be one of his best years, if not his best year in his career. He's played 4 games now, and his first 2, they're tough. Tonight, Frederick Anderson cannot take any of the blame. Tough bounce on the first goal, and after that, he really stepped it up. Frederick Anderson looked damn good out there tonight, actually. How about this comment here? Matthews didn't really take advantage of his chances. During some instances, he was open, had the puck offensively, he passed the puck instead of shooting. And you know what? I think that Matthews, you're putting the blame on the wrong guy here. I see what you're saying. I mean, everybody was open and had the puck offensively and passed it instead of shooting. Nobody took the shots they needed to tonight. Austin Matthews, I think that's the last person you should be blaming tonight. He had a goal and he led the team in hits. I liked what I saw from Matthews tonight. He was flying all over the place, but this team, we did not take the shots necessary. You agree with us?
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think he did a lot of good things on the ice, but it's definitely a team effort that gave them the loss today.
So a question here from Zach Steck. Varco, Jumbo or Marleau? Who was the better addition? Let me know your thoughts. That's an interesting question. I mean, these guys both being drafted back in 1997, first and second overall, respectively. And Joe Thornton, second most games among all active players in the NHL, only behind Patrick Marleau. At the time, that Patrick Marleau signing, that was extremely valuable. But this Joe Thornton one, I think it's just different. Joe Thornton, he's got that veteran presence, and so did Patrick Marleau. But Joe Thornton's really the replacement for Patrick Marleau a couple of years later. He's playing the same role Patrick Marleau did. He's playing up on that first line with Mitch Marner, Austin Matthews, and the ceiling for Joe Thornton in his career was higher than Patrick Marleau's was. I think that Jumbo Joe, he's more of a playmaker, and that talent, he still has that talent to make plays, generate plays offensively. So I think that the Joe Thornton edition was a better one personally. They were both great additions to the team at their respective times, though. What are your thoughts, Matt?
Yeah, I'll have to go with Thornton. I think it's a great addition to this year's team. That's why it's such a blow that he got injured today. Hopefully he's not out too long, but it's pretty close. But I think I'm gonna have to go with Thornton. I like the role he plays on this team, and getting those first line minutes is important.
Definitely it is. And back to Joe Thornton here, because Rye says, I'm happy that Thornton is out of the first line. No hate on Jumbo. And I think that's the wrong way of looking at it, Rye. Jumbo Joe Thornton, whether you like it or not, unless someone really blows the socks off Sheldon Keefe, I think that Jumbo Joe Thornton, when he returns, he's going to be right back on that first line. He signed with the Maple Leafs this offseason, and he was told by Kyle Dubas who he's going to be playing with. He was told what his role on this team is going to be, so I'd expect him to go right back to this first line when he gets back. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. Unless Zach Hyman gets moved up and he plays unreal with the top line, but it's nice to have some variety down the lines, and it is nice to have Hyman on the lower in the lines, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so too. I like spreading the wealth of our talent.
Yeah, exactly.
Braden Roth here says, I think the Leafs will have a bounce back game next game as we'll know more about what we need to do to beat the Edmonton Oilers. You know what? I hope we have a bounce back game tomorrow. Or Friday rather. I'm torn on this. After seeing the tough bounces we had tonight, I think we might come out a little slow, but I'm gonna keep calm and I'm gonna believe. I believe in this team to bounce back. We're not gonna go 500 after Friday. We're not gonna be 500. Let's come back with a win. I believe that the Maple Leafs they will fix their game plan. I think that Sheldon Keefe's gonna tell this team too much passing around tonight, guys. Too much passing around. Take shots. Just shoot the damn puck. It's simple. Pretty simple game plan for me. You think we're gonna have a bounce back game Friday?
Yeah, for sure. I think they're going to take a look in the mirror. I think they're going to come out, have some energy early in the first, and I think they're going to get the win.
Yeah, I like your attitude. I like your attitude a lot. Keep calm and believe, right? How about this comment from Jason Brooks? Who would you guys give a chance to fill the 2 roster spots? And that's because of the Joe Thornton and Nick Robertson injury. To me, I think that I'd give Pierre Engvall and Travis Boyd the opportunities. Travis Boyd, he was on Stanley Cup champion winning Washington Capitals a few years back. That's something that's valuable. It's a valuable asset to have. He plays the wing. Pierre Engvall, we know what he can do. And I mean, these guys, we're going to need to see it. I also liked what I saw from Nick Patan. So that's someone else I would consider bringing up. I liked what I saw from him in the blue versus white game. He was very competitive. These guys are all, I expect anybody that gets called up to have an extra fire lit under them. They're all going to be fighting for a roster spot, and they really want to maintain it. I think that Engvall and Travis Boyd would probably be my 2 picks, though. Travis Boyd's going to come in and block a lot of shots, make a lot of hits. Who'd you make?
I'm going to have to agree with you. I like Engvall and Boyd. Yeah, I think Engvall is going to bring something like some energy to the lineup, so I really like him coming in. And then I agree with your Stanley Cup winning Boyd. I think he brings something different, some experience.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that Stanley Cup experience, being on that Stanley Cup champion team with the Washington Capitals, that's a valuable asset. Valuable asset to have. Question or comment here. Spezza being criticized for missing an open net on social media. 9 out of 10 times, he buries it in the back of the net. Some fans just don't get it. Great comment. Great comment. Because Jason Spezza, I'm sure Twitter's blowing up right now. I haven't gotten the chance to look, but it's probably blowing up right now, and it usually does after Maple Leafs loss. Sorry, guys, but Leafs Nation, we overreact at a lot of things, and Jason Spezza, that was just representative of the kind of night it was for the Maple Leafs. It was a tough bounce, and you're right, 9 out of 10 times, Jason Spezza buries that. I don't think we can get on Jason Spezza too much.
I think it was just a quick reaction. He tried to get his stick to the puck as soon as he could, and it's just the way it hit it. Just unfortunate.
Yeah,
Just missed the net.
it's a really high pressure moment. You gotta really take it into consideration. You gotta try to put yourself in his shoes rather than his skates. I
Right.
mean, it's a tough thing to see, and I think that Spezza, he's going to come back motivated. Spezza was put on waivers a couple days back. I think it was like 4 days ago. He looked good against Winnipeg. He's had a lot of opportunities out there, and I think that play tonight is just going to add to his motivation. Jason Spezza, he's like been motivated. And we saw this against Columbus last year. He really gave that team a spark that led a comeback in Game 4. Jason Spezza's got a lot of motivation, and this is just going to add to it. We have a question here. Well, actually, Jason Brooks with a comment. He's been one of our best players, especially in the face-off circle. Yeah, he has been. Jason Spezza, that veteran presence, along with his ability to win face-offs, he wins almost every face-off he takes. He is absolutely a magician in the face-off circle. Jason Spezza, he's extremely valuable to this team.
I've definitely liked the way he's been playing over some of the other Leafs, so it's nice to see him come in, but it's definitely tough to see him miss that net. But like you said, I think he's just going to use that as motivation. It seems like he already has like chip on his shoulder as it is. So
Yeah, I think that he's going to rebound. He's going to rebound from it, and eventually he's going to get his opportunities. He's going to cash in on some of them. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him move up the lineup a bit as well. Him or Wayne Simmons, or both of them even, with 2 injuries on the forward group. These guys could definitely move up in the lineup. I wouldn't be surprised to see their playing time go up. Joe Siska. Mikheyev should get a shot on the first line after seeing his play tonight. Matt, what do you think of this? Should he get a shot at the first line?
I wouldn't mind seeing it. He looked pretty good tonight, so it'd be interesting to see how he would play with Matthews and Marner. So yeah, it wouldn't be a bad call.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that Mikheyev, he's been high flying. He's high flying, high voltage skater. He's a really good skater, and we saw that tonight on the penalty kill. He's really hardworking, and he's going to get rewarded for his opportunities. There's a lot of guys who haven't been rewarded for their opportunities. I've been saying that like a broken record tonight. Wayne Simmons, Jason Spezza, Ilya Mikheyev. Heck, Zach Hyman's only got a goal on the year. These guys, they all haven't really cashed in on their opportunities. It's early in the season. I'd expect some of the bounces to start going their way in the near future. Tonight, none of the bounces went our way. Bad calls tonight. Not enough shooting. Matthews had a good game, though. Matthews did have a good game, and there were some bad calls. I definitely agree with you. But perfect, right in the middle there. Not enough shooting. We've been preaching that all night long. Not enough damn shooting. Shoot the puck, and good things happen. Miss 100% of the shots you do not take. Jason Brooks, Boyd will bring a little more grit to the lineup. Yes, he will. Definitely will. How do you feel about Joey Anderson? Do you think he should be moved up? Joey Anderson on the wing. He could play on the wing. I heard some good things about him coming into the season, and I liked what I saw from him in the blue versus white scrimmage, but I think that Pierre Engvall and Travis Boyd will probably get the opportunity. I really like what Travis Boyd brings to this team, and that's why I want to see Travis Boyd first. Joey Anderson, he's still younger. He's got a lot of room to develop, and I think it would just be more beneficial to bring someone with more experience like Travis Boyd into this lineup. Matthews' line did a good job of slowing down McDavid. I think so. I think they did, and I think that Justin Hall, he played a good game defensively as well. I think we did what we could containing Connor McDavid. How do you think we did containing McDavid?
Yeah, I think we did pretty good. Like, he didn't get any goals. I think Justin Hall had a great game against him. Like, what more can you ask for against probably the best player in the league?
Yeah,
so, yeah, I think we did a decent job tonight.
Exactly. We're gonna see him 3 more times, so let's keep it up. Let's stay consistently consistent, like Maple Leafs media is bringing you content, consistently consistent. But we just got to continue slowing down McDavid. I think that we did a really good job of it tonight, and let's keep it up. I mean, it was a tough night. Let's just recap it and then sign off here. It was a tough night. There's a lot of tough bounces. Nothing really went our way. Does that recap it, Matt?
Yeah, just a tough game. I think they'll bounce back next game for sure. There's not much you can say. I don't know.
Yeah, there really wasn't many. There wasn't any good bounces that went our way tonight, other than that one soft Matthews goal from the side, literally on the goal line. That's not something you see too frequently, and that proves our point. Shoot the puck, and you never know what can happen. Shoot the damn puck. We've got 2 more questions I'm going to get to, and then we're going to sign off here. So, how do you feel about Bogosian? Zach Bogosian. To me, he's been a ghost and slow and sloppy. Should the Leafs trade him and try to go for Josh Manson? So to answer your question, you know what? I've seen that Zach Bogosian, the first 2 games, well, the first game of the season, he took 2 penalties, and I've been on him about that. Zach Bogosian, he isn't your top tier skater. He's not going to skate with Connor McDavid, okay? He's got a lot of injury history, and he is what he is. Zach Bogosian, he's a top 6 defenseman, and he's that bottom pairing guy. I don't think you can ask too much from him. He can take the body, he can generate opportunities sometimes, but the role he played in Tampa Bay was perfect. He was playing with Victor Hedman, and that's exactly, he needs another solid defense partner beside him. I think that just give him some more time. And I like this comment from Jason. I'd love to see Sandin get his chance to play. And I think that Rasmus Sandin, that's your answer right there. I don't think you need to make a trade right now. Let's see what Rasmus Sandin has in the tank, because I think Rasmus Sandin, he's going to surprise a lot of people. And I mean, yeah, I think that really answers your question. Rasmus Sandin, he can do a lot of good things, and he's a young, emerging talent defensively. Just give him a shot. Give him a shot. Zach Bogosian, he is what he is, and he, I don't know. Jolly old Santa Claus agrees that we should give Rasmus Sandin a chance. I think we should be giving Rasmus Sandin a chance. Would you like to see Rasmus Sandin in the lineup?
Yeah, I'd definitely like to see him get some minutes. I do think that Bogosian has the ability to turn it around. I think he'll be good down the stretch, and I think he plays a good role for this team.
Yeah.
He has that experience with Tampa, so it's nice to see him in the lineup, and I think he'll just improve.
Yeah, I mean, he won a Stanley Cup last year, and
Exactly.
with his injury history, you can't ask him to play every night. I think that we're gonna have a little bit of load management in the future, and I haven't seen it yet, but I'd expect to see that, and I'd expect Rasmus Sandin to get his opportunities in the near future. But I think that's all we've got for you tonight. This has been the pregame show with myself, Jake, and Matt. Great comment, Henny. But I think that's all we've got for you tonight. Be sure to stay tuned for some more content coming your way. I'll be back here Friday night for the Maple Leafs versus Oilers postgame show again. There's going to be a lot of Oilers Maple Leafs postgame shows coming up. But thank you for watching this. I'm going to give Matt the floor to give some closing statements here. What do you have to say for our viewers?
All right, thanks a lot for viewing, guys. Sorry, it was a tough game tonight, but I think they'll bounce back, and we'll see you guys again. So thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, it was a tough night, and I just want to thank Matt. Thank you for coming on. Thank you to everybody who has watched this video. This has been the post-game show with myself, Matt, and myself, Jake. Thank you, and stay tuned for more great content coming away on Maple Leafs Media.